Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to now the Valley of Pyramids in Bosnia, and in particular the Pyramid of the Sun. And I know, Maria, you've been there, so you can talk about this as with direct experience. Essentially, the Pyramid of the Sun is 220 meters high. To give you some context, that's about 3 times higher than the Great Pyramid we just seen. It's at 45-degree angles and is aligned to north even more accurately than Great Pyramid. So we're now looking at another incredible ancient structure of incredible power. This is the valley. So the Pyramid of the Sun is on the bottom right, and there are other pyramids in the valley. So there in total there's 6 another ancient structures. So this is a very, very high vibration location. So below the pyramid, and Maria's can tell us her experience of this in a moment, I'm sure, there is something called the Ravni Labyrinth. So there is a series of underground tunnels and also water under there, and very, very unique and very powerful healing effects have been recognized within these spaces. And so within, as well as having these chambers and these labyrinth spaces, there are these really incredible artifacts, and these are these forms which look like stone to begin with are actually being tested and are actually man-made. These are man-made structures, 1,000 years old. I mean, I think there was a wood fragment found that was over 34,000 years old under here. So we're looking at very, very ancient artifacts that undoubtedly have come from a very ancient tradition. We're probably looking at Atlantean science that way predates the pyramid structure itself. In these chambers, there's very, very high purity water. There's high vibration plasma orbs that have been photographed, and there's been. I know that Dr. Sam, who's the gentleman here, who's the discoverer of the pyramids, the gentleman with the hat on the left in this photo, has done testing that within the tunnels. They've got up to finding 18,000 negative ions per cubic centimeter. So to give you an understanding, so negative ions is that reading of that negatively charged and beneficial ionic charge within air. So within these spaces, you've got very incredible healing air qualities, and also we've got acoustic spaces with high amounts of quartz and water. And so, Maria, do you want to talk about your experience with these slabs?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just to put it into context, this pyramid is supposed to be built through like in prehistory. So prehistory, we associate that word with the Neanderthals, and that we were supposed to be in caves starting to create fire. And instead, we are seeing nowadays that this technology was also being used. And there are some people like Graham Hancock and other scientists, and he's a journalist, but he's making questions about what happened, because we don't know what happened. We have just assumed that there was nothing there because we haven't got the records of it. But instead, these things are showing us that there was technology used by then. And as you were saying, these devices, because they are not really stones, they look like stones, but they are made of clay and they have quartz inside, and they are placed exactly over water crossings, which are the vortices that you were mentioning. And as you were talking about the piezoelectric effect, they charge the tunnels that are full of air, of negative ions, and they actually generate an electric movement through that movement of the air in the tunnels. So they are actually a circuit, and they are used to actually power the pyramid, which is amazing. But when you enter there, because you can go and visit it. I mean, I recommend everyone to go. I organize these trips to go there. So if you're interested, you can contact me to go. But you can go on your own and actually enter those tunnels. And you feel like your body can relax. There's a different state of being. They also have documented better healing effects of that space for blood pressure, for sugar issues, for heart issues, for circulation issues, for a lot of issues. And it's an amazing healing space because you just enter and the radiation reduces. The good effects of the ions and the Vovis amount that is measured there is incredible. You can enter there and you feel like your whole body relaxes. So it's an amazing place to visit. It's an amazing place to lay down, meditate, and let your body do its work, which is regenerate itself. And when you go, because you will hear a lot of controversy about this place, like it's not a real pyramid, like this guy's making it all up. When you go there, you realize that it's impossible, that this is made by these people that are excavating, because there's such an amount of tunnels that you can see when you go that they're discovering and actually emptying from the rubble that was used to close them down. So what they've discovered is that these pyramids were created or built 30,000 years ago or older, as you were saying, 34,500 years ago. And then these tunnels were closed 5,000 years ago. Egypt, this civilization that is our first, let's say, non-prehistoric civilization that we have records of, was about 5,000 years ago. So about that time, all of these things were closed. So who closed it? Why did they close it? Those are questions that are very interesting. We're not saying what happened. We're asking, what is it? Because something happened. So if you want to go there, if you want to know it by yourself, if you want to check it, please go. It's in Visoko. It's an amazing place. And this man, Dr. Samin Osmanagic, that you can find in another interview in this channel, he's doing an amazing work documenting everything. Because as you were saying, these things are pretty new, and he's been told to be a pseudo-archaeologist, and he's been questioned. So he's documenting everything just to have proof of what he's saying. So that's an amazing thing. This is one side that archaeologically it's public, so he's sharing everything that they find there. It's not controlled by the let's say the broadcasted knowledge that we have about history and about archaeology. So it's really a very amazing place to get to know what's going on. So thank you, Mark, for bringing this up, because I think it's an amazing place. We're going to go there in September to actually, as you were saying, with the solstices and the equinoxes and the alignments with certain places, these places activate. So we're going to be there in September, but we'll go more often. So if you're interested in contacting, please do so.
Yeah, I can't wait to go.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to go too. Again, I've been already twice, and it's an amazing place, definitely.
Fantastic. Okay, so I think we've got another slide. Yeah, this is this is an incredible topic. There's one of these structures forms has been found with symbols on them, and so what we're looking at is very ancient. What's been recognized by one researcher as Paleo Sanskrit, very ancient Sanskrit. I think this is quite remarkable to have found here, but these symbols are found in healing sites all over the world. And this last slide, this actually is this is outside the pyramid as well, in the park. So there's have you been to this park, Maria, with these structures?
Yeah, it's an amazing park that they're building, because these tunnels are not precisely they didn't discover this entrance to the tunnels precisely underneath the pyramid, because they couldn't access, because the government didn't allow them to excavate. So they could start excavating in another plot of land, which is a little bit farther away. They bought the plot of land, they are excavating there, and they're entering the tunnels that way. And they have created this park in that access. So when you go to the tunnels, you can actually visit the park. And they are building with sacred geometry, like little stone circles, and there are statues, and it's a place for art, for contemplation, for meditation, for doing also concerts. And so there's a lot of activities that are going there. And I love the view that Samir Osmanagic is sharing with the world, because as you are saying, it's a very similar project to Earthlight in a way. It's not based on food, but it's based on this spiritual awareness. They say that these pyramids can change our life in many ways, building a better health, building a better awareness, building, as you're going to talk about, better food. So free energy. So they're doing this site like a place to go there and really feel what happens around and inside the pyramids. So I recommend to go there to the park, and also it's a beautiful place.
Wonderful.
Yeah.